but the things that are most interesting to me are the ones that are actually going to allow us to extend our ability to provide services to people in a better way or in a more accessible way. So I'd like to touch on three things. One is digital twins. This is a digital twin of Toronto that's been developed by one of our members. And as you can see, it's going behind me. This is going to allow city planners to have far greater data and ability to manage a whole lot of different things around the city. But you can build a digital twin of anything. So we're seeing them in healthcare. I mentioned this yesterday, building a digital twin for an operation so you can see how to remove a tumour, and you can do a digital twin of anything that allows people to collaborate and plan. In healthcare, what we're seeing is, first of all, and I think education is a really important example. So medical students can learn anatomy by travelling through the human body and actually immersing themselves in the way that different parts of the body connect. In education, in schools, it's expensive to go on field trips. I love your Slovenia model because people can take a field trip from a school into your model and learn about Slovenia, and this is going to be possible. But it's not just people in schools, because if you think about the elderly or the disabled or infirmed, they can't go places, and the Metaverse is going to allow them to travel to new places. So just summarising there, in healthcare, we're already seeing it in scientific collaboration, we're seeing it in clinical care, we're seeing it in non-acute care. So if you've got chronic diseases or mental health is a big area that's a number of different projects are working on mental health, and hospitals collaborating with gaming companies to develop mental health responses in the Metaverse, and also in fitness and wellness. So people are making games to incentivise you to do more exercise. And in education, I believe our entire education system is going to be transformed through Metaverse education and through the new skills that young people now need to navigate the digital future, because when you've got ChatGPT, you don't need to learn everything you used to need to learn. And so you need new and different skills for the future. And Metaverse education is going to be very prominent there. People all around the world who are thinking about some of the pieces. So one of the reasons that we started the World Metaverse Council was to try and crowdsource that knowledge so that we could produce research pieces, policy papers on regulation standards and ethics that we can put in front of governments, companies and others who are thinking about this, because the knowledge does not reside in one place. And you know, we really think this idea of a global distributed knowledge network is a very important concept for the future. It's absolutely critical, but not just in Metaverse. The thing to think about in digital ethics is that when you're normally thinking about ethics, I'm thinking about maybe you needing an operation or a service. I'm just thinking about you. But when you've got an algorithm that's making decisions maybe about obtaining a loan for millions of people, one algorithm can create a bias that impacts many, many people. So there's a risk with digital ethics because it can impact on many people very quickly. But if you're thinking about the Metaverse, first of all, data privacy and informed consent, because in the Metaverse people are going to be collecting more data points on you than we've ever had collected on us before, and then potentially adding them together with your financial patterns and maybe your socialisation patterns, and potentially they'll know more about you than you even know about yourself. And so the ability for bad actors to influence populations is there. Children in the Metaverse. What do we do about that? Do we try and stop them? How do we know they're children? How do we know they're dealing with children? So just in summary, there are a whole plethora of ethical issues that are raised in the Metaverse that we need ethicists and other people working on. Secondly, developers are not trained in ethics. So when they're developing a cool tech thing, they're not thinking about what are the ethical implications on society of this cool new tech. So we have to really think before the technology is developed, what are some of the ethical issues to be resolved?